Samsung is the first brand in Italy to come out with an 8 megapixel smartphone. You are on Cellulare magazine.it. I'm Emilio Vignapiano. So this is the Samsung INNOV8. As you see, user interface is very similar to Nokia's, as this is Symbian S60 3rd edition feature pack 2. But let's go first on the mobile and then we see the inside menu. On the bottom there is nothing, on the top. On the right side you have the camera buttons to see the photos, to go in video mode directly, and on camera shooting, micro SD slot. Inside you have something like 16 giga of memory, but you can expand of other 16 gigabyte with micro SD. Camera button. The main camera, the huge 8 megapixel camera, is in the back, as you see. It's a normal flash, what we see here, and works pretty cool. The photos are amazing. Also, when you use the flash, the only problem comes with figures that are very nearby the flash, so you have to respect at least 1.5 meter of distance when you use the flash in dark nights. Speakers, stereo. When you see here, you have Wi-Fi, because on board of this smartphone there is also wireless connection. GPS, working pretty good with application like Route 66 or the free one like Amaze. DLNA certificate, DVX. In fact, there is a included DVX player, so you can see some file DVX, not the most recent one, but the normal one you can. The camera, as you see, is protected. The lens are protected. There is also autofocus. Let's open. Lens are pretty big. There is space to give also dimension to the photo. So really for a camera feature, it's a pretty good phone. Balance of the volume, 3.5mm jack for stereo headphone, but also to connect with external device like TV, monitor, to see your photos, your video on other screen. The cable to sync and to charge, unfortunately, is a Samsung one, no micro SD or SD mini. The screen is big and pretty nice. In fact, it's a 2.8 inch with 60 millions of color. Classical resolution, unfortunately, 240 by 320. There is the particular that the trackpad is active, as you can see, but also work mechanically in the 5 direction. The menu key is the one on the left, but the other turning on and off the conversation are in the position that are classical on smartphone of Symbian. Soft keys. And then we have the keypad that is completely flat, very Razor style. Little gum in the middle, but the keys are big. You have to get used to it because you don't have any physical response of how big they are, but they are pretty big and they work pretty fine. There is enough space between the slide and the first line, and there is enough space to also write SMS in the last line. So, as the phone is not small dimension, in fact you have 106.5 per 53.9 per 17.2 millimeter, so it's pretty big. But you really have everything. It's a quadriband GSM with, of course, GPRS and H connection, but you also have UMTS, HSDPA, HSUPA. So really you have everything that your connection needs. You have Bluetooth 2.0 for stereo handset, but you also have Wi-Fi, GPS. It's very complete. The price is 499 euro in Europe, so it's not even a bad price for a mobile that really has everything. And the particular of the camera, it's this 8.1 megapixel. Also it's if written just 8.0 megapixel on the back. The battery, unfortunately, is very stressed, so you really have to choose the minimum light of the screen. You have to turn off the Bluetooth when you don't use the Wi-Fi. Really drains your battery, but it's really a phone that has everything, so we can accept that the battery is drained off by all the application. You have also radio FM on it that works just with the headphone, of course. In the box you will find a battery of 1000 mAh, the travel charger, the stereo headphone, the CD user, and all the other software to install and to know about the phone. Unfortunately, there is not a 3.5mm jack to connect with TV. We've tried with the Nokia one, that works pretty fine, so you can just buy that one of other phone jack to connect with a bigger screen. When you go through menus, you see that the personalization of Samsung was not so deep, but they've tried different solutions. As in option, it's separated by other applications, so you have to get used to this menu. Of course, you can install Symbian themes that works on Nokia, but the separation still remains, so you have to move your application manually. Inside we found Fring that was already installed, DLNA, GPS Plus, Route 66 in the free way, so you have to buy the maps, Shot Zoom, Asphalt 3, Yahoo Go, CNN, and that's all. We installed Gypsy, as Part4 was pre-installed, FIFA was pre-installed too. We installed Screenshot and Amaze to test the GPS. And with Amaze you have free maps, but you have to use your internet connection. That's all for Cellulare Magazine.it. Emilio Vignapiano with Samsung INNOV8.